Hello everyone, welcome to the Luke Branquinho Show. Welcome to the Luke Branquinho Show. We are here at the CRAWFORD Tack Room, the American Western weekend, and Jackie has a chance at $1 million. Jackie, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for not making me leave my house.
Yeah, it is kind of nice for both of us because I'm only about 45 minutes from you, and you could get ready in your house. I do appreciate you coming on the show, even that we're using your tack room, because I've reached out, text, called, for the last 4 months, and finally you answered. Responded, which was awesome of you. But for the fans out there that don't know this, Jackie likes to hold on. She's like a pack rat, or not a hoarder of emails and texts. Mm-hmm. You just don't open them. You just keep them, hang on to them real tight.
I just don't get to it. Currently I have 247 unread text messages. 247? 675 unheard voicemails. So if you've called or texted and I haven't responded, I probably don't even know you did it.
Wait.
Oh, and almost 10,000 emails. So
how many unheard voicemails?
675.
My voicemail gets full after 20. Do you pay an extra fee?
Not that I'm aware of.
Verizon's like, we got her.
Look, see?
I didn't even know that's possible. 675.
Always defying the rules,
You've been doing
Leave
that
it to me.
Been doing that for a while. So personal assistant, maybe?
Yeah, that would be great. And I've kind of thought about doing that now. Mm-hmm.
Since win this million at the American?
If I win the million, I'm going to be looking to hire several people.
Just so you know, I'm not a steer wrestler anymore, and I'm unemployed. I'm not very techie, but maybe we'll see what it pays, what the benefits look like, health, dental, all that fun stuff.
You have a lot of kids, so you got you got to take care of all those. I probably don't pay enough for you.
We'll see. Anything's better
Depends on
than
if I
nothing
have to split the million. If I have to split the million
that's right, because this year there's way more contenders have a shot at it.
I venture to say I think it's going to get split a couple ways at least. So? I think at least a couple ways.
I'm going to say 3. You being one of them. You're welcome. And the reason I did that is because I'm going to put her on my fantasy team.
Nice.
Yeah. So, speaking of the million, last year was not obviously the year.
I'm not going to gripe about 100,000.
well, right. But, obviously, goals, expectations, make the national finals, win a gold buckle. Yeah. But with not being able to do that, it sets you up for potentially one of the best years that you could ever have in your career.
100%. 100%. I'm not going to take this little opportunity for granted, because I hope I don't have this opportunity for a while, till I decide to quit, and then I want this opportunity again.
Right.
So, or quit pro rodeoing. I'm trying. I told you I went all through. I got all my spots, all 3 regionals.
I was there.
I tried to do it all the way.
Yeah.
So.
And Jackie Crawford, 20-time world champion. By the way, I know I forgot to mention that earlier, but she is. Hello, pup.
Hi, Scout.
Scout wants in on this show.
Yeah,
That's
Scout.
fine.
Yeah, she's really friendly.
She is. When I got out of the truck, she came right and sniffed my butt. So that means she wanted to be friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
Clearly she's not shy.
Get back to your world championships. The 2021. How sweet was that one? Because first time at the Wrangler National Finals. Obviously not in the Thomas & Mack, but in Arlington, where you're going to have a chance at another $1 million. How sweet was that?
First of all, it's the first time we get an NFR, and we got it they basically announced that we're having this NFR, I don't even know, halfway through the season, everybo's like, holy cow. And so we're scrambling and going and hauling and doing all this stuff. And so
obviously the COVID year.
Of course, the year that I find out I'm pregnant, and I'm like counting the, the months, how's this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And so when it came down to it, and then it's going to be, COVID year, and then it's in my backyard, it's in Dallas. And so that was awesome. And then I'm thinking, well, I'm going to rope and that was also the year that WCRA had their first big women's finals. And I'm like, well, if I'm comfortable, I'm going to rope. If I'm not comfortable, if I have one day that goes by that I think this makes me a little nervous. Not gonna rope, because I was at 6 months pregnant right there, 6.5 months pregnant.
Not to interrupt you, but there was some criticism about you roping pregnant, cutting the saddle horn off your horn.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but first off, if to rope at that level without a saddle horn is freaking amazing. But for those people to criticize, I mean, my mom was pregnant with me up till 8 months on the back of a horse. Obviously, she was pregnant with me because she had me. But 8 months on the back of a horse, ranching and doing stuff like that. And I feel like with social media, there's a lot of great things for it. But now these people get on there and start.
Oh yeah, they got a big old soapbox then,
Yeah.
and it just, here's the deal. I'm not going to criticize anyone's, like, there's going to be things that you do with your kids that I'm like, I'm not going to do that with my kids. There's going to be things that I do. Everybody makes their own decisions with their kids, but my thing is that as long as I felt comfortable, I knew the day that I would not feel comfortable. It's not like I kept roping for whatever dumb reason and I'm putting my child in danger. I'm like, how many women stay working and get in a car and go to work? And how many, as bad as it is, terrible things can happen, know? But I never felt, it's not like I came and, when I got large, I guess you'd say, large, it's not like I came and ran a ton of calves, taking tons of risks. I did what I was comfortable with, and the only thing that ever bothered me was my saddle horn. And when my saddle horn, like every so often, I just noticed myself, and it didn't even bother me. I got to noticing I wasn't riding as good as I normally would because I wouldn't get out, kind of over the front of my horse. Yeah, just subconsciously. And so I was literally just sitting there thinking one day, and I was like, the only thing, say I rode my horse that I'd rode for 10, 11 years and never, I knew him in and out. He's my go-to. And, I thought, the only thing that bothers me, if some freak thing was to happen and he was to stumble and come up, the only thing that would really bother me would be the saddle horn. So I was sitting there thinking, and I made it through the W Series finals and I team roped, and it was fine because I don't have to be over the front of my horse as much, and it did not bother me one bit. Some people talk about losing equilibrium and balance and all that. I never felt that with either pregnancy. I never felt that. And so I said, once I'm through the W Series finals, I have 2-3 more weeks before the NFR, and I was like, I don't need a saddle horn in the breakaway. Now that I think about it, I'm not trying to dally. It's not like I'm a person that stands up over the top. Technically, I'm just trying to press against the swells anyways. So I was like, well, if I don't need it, and so I had this idea, and I'm like, Martin has one of my saddles in their shop right now doing some little stuff to it, some little fixes. I called them, I'm like, hey, can you guys cut that saddle horn off? And they're like, what? And I'm like, listen, it's just do it for me. Just cut it off flat, like no saddle horn on there. And they kind of laughed, and I explained, and they're like, all right, we'll have it to you in 2 days. And they did, and I roped out of it, and more so than the function, it was just weird to not see it. Yeah. When you go to get on, you're like, oh, wait, well, I got to hold on to this, just stuff like that. And so it didn't bother me. And so my thing is that I chose to work just like a lot of women choose to work.
Well, exactly.
You know what I mean? That choosing to work 3 more weeks benefited my family about $82,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, that is huge. That was huge for our family and how we're going to be set up when I couldn't do anything. And so as long as I was comfortable and I knew I wasn't doing anything that I felt like I was putting my child at risk, obviously, I'm fine with it.
Meat and seafood from Butcher Box checks all the boxes. It's versatile, delicious, and they have everything I'm looking for when it comes to quality. Like 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork that is raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. Right now, Butcher Box is offering new members an incredible deal. Free chicken nuggets for a year and 10% off your first box when you sign up today. That's a 22-ounce bag of gluten-free chicken nuggets in every order for a year when you sign up at butcherbox.com/Luke and use code Luke. Claim this deal at butcherbox.com/Luke and use code Luke.
Sometimes I get on there when they have an opinion about stuff that we do with our kids, and Lindsay and I, and I get on there and I start typing slowly because I got big fingers and I don't spell very good. But I start typing like, you're an idiot, you're an asshole, shut up. And then and actually Lindsay stops me. She's like, why are you even engaging with them? So now what I do, if somebody starts trolling you and being mean, just go, thanks for the follow and thanks for the like. Or thanks for the like, thanks for the follow. That really makes them mad. They're like, I don't follow you, I don't like you. and then I put in all caps, thanks for the like, thanks for the follow. And I just keep that trend going. And
that's
it's
a
fun
really
for me.
good idea, because I tell you what, you can get trapped in that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And my thing is, I got where, like, when I was younger, it bothers me if I think someone doesn't like me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a
People pleaser.
I'm a people pleaser, and I want to, like, it's like truly, like, my feelings get hurt, because I'm like, what the heck, like, whatever. So I would get trapped into it, and it would bother me all day for a long time when I was younger. But then I got where I was like, okay, the people that are drama makers, right? So I kind of like delete. I've blocked like several people that I'm like, okay, all this person wants to do is be drama, and I don't want to get sucked into it, and I don't even want to. What I have found is I got where I was disliking people so much because of what they were on social media.
Right.
And they bothered me so much. But I might actually like that person when you were face to face,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, I don't even want to know the social media people. And I kind of would get a grasp of who was just drama makers and stuff. So I just got where I just kind of deleted that from I blocked a couple, which I know is immature. It's not like you differ from my opinion, I'm blocking you.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like that. It was just
so
more
you
like,
didn't get caught up.
I don't want to get caught up in this. I don't want to see it. I don't care. Like, I don't, like, this stuff is silly to me. So I would block that stuff. Now, of course, now my friends that do get into it, they'll like screenshot it and send it, and then you want to get pissed off and then you get sucked in for a second. Then I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your time right now? And get out. But here's it's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But I've kind of grown up enough now that it's really none of my business what you think of me, and I'm gonna do what I think's right and what I know is right, and rock on with it, and
do what's best for you and your
don't get caught up
family.
in the BS.
So on that journey to that world championship.
Oh yeah.
With Journey.
With Journey?
Is that so? I'm curious. Yes, go ahead.
No, you go.
No,
you go. You were curious.
I am curious.
You were curious.
So, did you guys have a name picked out before?
I had Journey picked out before Cree
wow.
was ever born.
Oh, really? You were just waiting for that little girl to come on.
Yep, got lucky. She came.
Well, how cool is that?
Yeah, I know, right?
And then through that journey to getting there, and with Journey, that is
neat, huh?
very neat.
Yeah.
Was there any point at the finals when you and Journey were roping, because you were, where you're like, I could pull this off, or damn it, I let one slip through my hands?
It was kind of up in the air, like, honestly, and they kind of ran it a different format that year and everything, and we didn't really know, like, who really had it. There were several girls that had a chance. Everything was really tight, but I knew I came out having a good finals. I won the very first round, the very first NFR, which was awesome. Won the Betty Gail Cooper Award, which was really neat for me, and so I knew I had a shot, but then I had a mess up, and I roped a back leg on a calf. Judges didn't catch it, and it was like, I knew it, like I felt it, I knew it, and I kept waiting for them to do it. They don't flag me out.
And just so we're clear, the back, it has to be a bell collar catch around the neck.
Yeah.
And if it does curl the hind leg and breaks, but then comes off, it broke with the hind leg in it, and it's a no time.
Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't come, when it breaks off, if it's not around the neck only, then it's a no time. And it was a no time, and they missed it. Look, it happens. Like, people make errors. It's people judge. I get it. You make errors. And so, but my biggest thing is, like, I don't care in my life how broke I've been. Like, I mean, teetering on how the heck are we going to buy food tomorrow, or feed our horses or feed ourselves. I don't want anything I didn't earn.
Right, no, for sure.
I don't want anything I didn't earn. I never, ever, ever, like, I don't care what it is, and so I don't want what I didn't earn, and so I went back in, which is a no-no, I guess, but I did it, and ran back around, because you can't interrupt the, whatever, and I ran back around, and I got off my horse, and I'm like, why am I in this position? Like, at first I was like, why can you just call me out? But I know people make mistakes, so I ran in there and I talked to them. I was like, hey, that was an obvious, like, that is a no time. You've got to flag me out. Like, told them everything. And thank goodness, like, those judges that were there were open-minded enough to be like, yeah, we missed this, and this is to make it right. You know what I mean? And so they flagged me out, and I was winning the average, which was like,
so
like,
pretty much you told on yourself, because that's just the cowboy way.
Well, yeah,
and
how do you go on from then? And even if I was to have won it then, it would not mean what it means.
Well,
right?
for sure, yeah, exactly.
I can't look at something that I won and I didn't actually win it. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. So, thank goodness they flagged me out. It took me out, whatever. But I was like, all right, battle back. Like, I got to battle back. And so I came back, and I think the second day we said I've got to stay strong. Anyways, come back, did really good, made it to the Final Four, whatever, and come out. And we had no idea who won it. I knew it was between, like, me, Martha, and I think one other person. I think maybe Jordan Fabrizio that year. But I think me and Martha, anyways, when they announced that like I'd won it after all that, I was like,
oh, how
what
cool is that?
the heck? Like, how in the heck does that happen? You know, just like, man, it was neat.
But
Yeah, that was a cool one.
For you to do what you did, and I think the majority of the Western lifestyle people, the cowboys, the cowgirls, they don't want something like you said that they didn't win. Yeah. And it's happened every year that I've been rodeoing, something like that's happened, and the judges are like, nope, that's the call we made. When the person that it's affecting the most, yourself, goes up and say, hey, that's wrong, you know, and for those judges, you know, I commend them for that.
I
for
do
being
too.
open-minded.
I do too.
Now, let's go to this year at San Antonio. Similar type deal?
Yep. I mean, a gal literally roped the back feet on the calf, and somehow or another, again, I get it. Human error, like stuff happens. Things are going fast in the rodeo. I get it. Like I am not pointing fingers at like, whatever. But my point is that when you can blatantly pick something out. So this gal advances on to the semifinals off of 3 no times, but they let her split the round. Not her fault, right?
And she was okay with saying, hey, I did it.
Yes, like so not her fault, but they won't fix it. So now you've got somebody that advances on and wins a bunch of money at San Antone that didn't deserve it and somebody else did.
Right.
And not that she's not a deserving roper, I'm just saying in that situation she didn't do it. But why would you not make that right? And if no offense, I am not griping about anything, but in those situations where San Antone says if you don't compete, you can't come back for 2 years, are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to make somebody compete and kick them out for 2 years when they're trying to do the right thing?
Exactly.
That makes me mad. Like,
Yeah.
that really makes me mad that you can't look at something that's so blatant and understand why a person would not want to rope for that amount of money when they didn't deserve it. Like, that's ridiculous.
Common sense.
It's common sense. Hey, listen, we make this exception for this. We make, you know, like, there's got to be some common sense stuff that comes into it. I mean, I know, like, I don't know I don't know what all was done to try to see if she could not compete. I don't know 100% on that. I just know that they would have kicked me out of San Antone for 2 years.
That's
100%. And guess what? They'd have been the bad guy. I wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm not going to go back and rope for.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Period. You know what I mean? And I'm not putting that against anybody. That's just everybody's got something different. And so, like, that's just, I think it's crap that. Don't get me started. See, this is why you do. This is what you do.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
I'm the guy that does this.
This is why you have a podcast.
I'm doing
jerk.
this.
Now you're making me be a jerk.
Yeah, no, you're not doing it. We need Dickland and we need JB and Katie, and we just do our broadcast all over again.
Yeah. No, but it is. I think that rodeo has so many things that it's like common sense. Why would we go flag ourselves out?
Right.
Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's common sense. Yeah, if you see somebody trying to come flag themselves out when they didn't, you obviously know nothing went wrong. But those guys knew that somebody just missed the call and didn't flag her out. Like, they all knew.
Right.
So why would the rodeo not fix it?
For sure.
Yeti, it's built for those who value shared time and personal pursuit. Whether it's on the rodeo trail or at the family ranch, dust-proof, waterproof, and virtually indestructible. Yeti's Go Box has a removable cargo tray and divider, perfect to use for a camp pantry, ammo can, or tackle box. The pack and stack design holds everything you need, so nothing holds you back. Yeti's Go Box comes in 3 different sizes, the 15, the 30, and the big boy, the 60. It's perfect for rodeo cowboys who want it all.
I've won a lot at San Antone, but I feel like they are, and obviously they're bringing Breakway, and that's, so it's awesome. But it's almost like, and it's almost like, and I'm going to talk to Haley Kinsel about this. You know, we get pushed further out, and I know you guys are coming in, so you're like, yeah, we're coming in, you know, which is awesome.
Heck yeah.
But they're pushing the Cowboys out because of the concerts, you know, I get it. Those are money makers for them.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's that fine line of where do we all get along, and where we're still considered athletes and you value our opinion.
Yeah, but so as much as I think that we need to hold those type of places feet to the fire on things like, hey, this is a rodeo, and hey, we do spend our whole lives investing in this, and a little bit, you know, whatever. I did not have any of the experiences that some people like say they had at San Antone. Yeah, we're parked way back there, but I didn't have any of the, none of that happened when we were there.
Right.
The volunteers were great. They were so helpful. We actually do I like having to ride to the arena that far and being that far away from everything? No. I didn't have to keep my horses there, so I don't know the accommodations of the stalls. Right. None of my family got turned away from the, and nobody else's did as far as I know from the hospitality. We enjoyed being able to park hospitality and stalls right there. That was our experience, though. We didn't stay there. Well, you know, and there's different helpers. I know there's different volunteers that come in different centers. So some of them might be like, well, this is the rule San Antone did, and they might not. And I did hear of that. Right. I didn't personally do it, so I didn't have a gripe other than, you know, the long hike to the arena. But I didn't have that. But I had something what I was going to say, and me and Haley have talked about this. You should have had us both on at the same time. She'd have had a really good,
She's here.
If you want to hold some of these places feet to the fire on what we need as contestants, we have got to start acting like professionals.
I agree 100%.
I did a post.
I seen it.
I get sickened at the lack of class of some of these guys. The lack of consideration. Like your mom should have whipped your, you know
ass.
what?
You can say ass. We can say ass.
Your mom should have whipped your ass, and she didn't, and she should have. Because I have never in my life seen more entitlement. And it's like, you're going to roll up in here and you want to ask for more, but you ain't even big person enough to
pick up your trash.
Yeah. But hey, give us more money. Give us more better accommodations. Give us better accommodations, but we can't even have the respect to clean up after ourselves or keep our area clean or have the respect that, last year, my son is 5, okay? And last year we went to a jackpot in California, and this is girls, and no offense to guys, but guys are even worse. But girls at a jackpot at someone's private place in California. I was the last one up there to go get my check, go figure. And I looked down at these people's arena that put on this great jackpot for us, and there is trash. Like people just ordering food from places, and it's just sitting there, you know, like everywhere. And so me and my 5-year-old son, I said, hey buddy, look at all this. Like, you know, like people didn't they didn't put their trash away. Right. So we walk throughout the whole thing, and my 5-year-old son puts away. Like, how early? He's 5.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And he gets it. Like, how do you be that disrespectful, and how do you expect this from the other end, but you can't hold up acting like a grown adult and professional? Like, you're that unclassy and that lazy.
And you can't tell me there weren't trash cans around.
No, there was trash cans
exactly.
around. There was trash cans around. Listen, I'm not saying we haven't all left something somewhere because it's like, okay, I got to put this down, I got to go do this, and you forget. It happens. But I have literally watched some of your people.
Not the Bulldoggers, because I get on their ass.
Your people.
The men?
Your people.
Men or Bulldoggers?
Killdeer. Bulldoggers.
Oh, well, that's North Dakota. That doesn't make that. They're not.
This committee is so nice. They feed
awesome,
everyone, Killdeer, and they try their best. It's a little rodeo, little town, and they try their best, and they're so accommodating, whatever. And I literally
get to the point. What did we do?
Like, how nasty is your rig if you're literally kicking your trash out with your foot?
Well, I've traveled with Gabe Ledoux. I know exactly how nasty a rig could be.
Kicks it out with their feet, and I'm thinking, surely they're going to bag that up and at least bag it up. If you're going to leave it like a lazy piece of junk, at least bag it up. You know what I mean? Like, literally, they just go get in their truck, start it up, back over the top of it, and pull out. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me.
That just happened.
Like, do you know how bad? I can't wait till I get to the point in my career, in my life, that I really
don't care. You can go start chewing their ass?
No, I really don't care. I'm going to film them. I'm just going to film it and post it. I'm going to be that Facebook person. Hey, if you thought that someone might film you and post you on everything that you thought people weren't watching.
That's like stalker status? Ooh. Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
Have you ever thought about if rodeo had a tabloid magazine?
We should do that. Paparazzi. Rodeo pop? Well, we'd have to name it something different.
Can you imagine?
But anyway, yes.
Sorry,
we
got off on a tangent.
We really got off on a trash tangent right there, folks.
It's not even trash. It's just
respect.
Like one time, this podcast's gonna go long. Haley's gonna have to wait. One time, we pulled in, and my husband had been rodeoing for years, and I know. Listen,
he is old.
The gate guys. Y'all have problem with gate guys, right?
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay,
yeah.
Gate guys. Y'all. It's as the rodeo people. You're like, these gate guys are bossing, blah blah blah. We pull into Fort Worth. And he's been to this rodeo, and he's coming straight over there. And this lady asked for $20 to go park in day parking or whatever. And he's like, are you freaking kidding me? And he wasn't necessarily being rude to her. He just he's like, are you serious? Like, whatever. And kind of, he's not going to be mean to someone, nothing like that. But we drove off and I said, do you think that lady right there is pocketing all that money? Or do you think she's working for $12 an hour and just doing her job that she's told to do and trying to make a living for her family?
Or volunteering even.
Or volunteering. And we had to park a long way. He literally gets out of the truck and walks all the way back to the gate lady and goes and apologizes for not being nice to her. And he knows it wasn't her fault and she's doing what she's told, and comes back. And he's like, it's funny because he's like, you know what? Like, until somebody who hasn't rodeoed and has like that same mentality of like, hey, you owe us, which I get some places like it needs to be better. But at the same time, it's like, don't take it out on
the lady and she doesn't.
So my point is, I'm sure they're fed up with us as much as we're fed up with them. You know what I mean? Like, it goes back and forth.
You know, you go to the trash, and not only that, how many places have you been where you pull into the parking lot and it's huge? You got a huge parking lot, and they are parked like a bunch of third graders in a little one of those little motor carts. You got one rig this way, one rig that way. You can't hardly get out. They have acres of pasture with electric fence.
Yeah.
And I'm not against building pens for your horses, but for the love of God.
But you got to do it in consideration of everyone. You just got to be consideration.
So now we're ripping on the contestants, just so you guys are aware.
Yeah.
But
well, we're doing both. Like, here's the deal. Some places, listen, we have a lot of money invested. Help us out.
Right.
Like, help us out with the accommodations. Help us out with things like that. And I think everybody's happy. On our side, take care of your crap. Be considerate of other contestants. You know what I mean? When I go places and those contestants have, like, you're limited for stalls, and people go in and open up the stalls so that their horses have to, and you know there's not enough places for horses. I'm like, I don't mind. Now, I don't mind if you're doing it while no one's there.
Right. Well,
if I come in and shut the gate because my horse doesn't have a stall.
Don't get pissy.
Don't get pissy.
Right.
I get pissy back.
And just that point, I can't remember which one, maybe Clovis or even Red Bluff, they started putting chalk markers so people would park, for one reason, safety, if you had to get out if there was a natural disaster or whatever. And still these contestants were parking like morons. And trash cans everywhere, but yet still, I was going to say your people, but not really your people, your husband's people. The team ropers would leave bottles of beer in cases.
It baffles me that it's like, just like I said, how do you expect people to treat you like professionals and be considerate on your end when you can't even have enough class?
You're acting like a bunch of carnies.
Yeah, like, come on. When we can hold ourselves accountable, I think we can do whatever. We can ask for a lot of things.
Right. And we'll have to do this again if your schedule allows.
Heck yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on the show, Jackie. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll have to do this again if your schedule allows.
Heck yeah.